Well, hey, you guys. So listen, there is a lot of conflicting advice out there on what you should be doing with your money. But over the years, I have narrowed it down to a list, or really a mindset, if you will, of different shifts that really have significant difference when it comes to your money. So today, I'm sharing 6 of those financial lessons that have changed my life. And before we jump in, just a friendly reminder to hit that like or subscribe button if you love this content and you want to see more of it. And be sure to stick around to the end of the list and let me know if there's any lessons that have helped you that I didn't mention and put them in the comments. All right, here we go. Lesson number 1, track your expenses. Okay, so we talk about having a budget all the time because it really is one of the most important things that you can do. But listen, here's the deal. You can set a budget at the beginning of the month and then never come back to it, which is not going to help you when it comes to your money. Because just because you have a number out there, but you don't know what you're spending in each category, your budget's not going to work. So tracking your expenses throughout the month, it can seem daunting. It may seem like a lot of work, but it's honestly one of the best ways to succeed with the budget. And if you have not checked out EveryDollar, our budgeting app, make sure to do that because with EveryDollar Premium, you can actually attach your bank account to it. So your transactions come right into the app and you can drag and drop them per category to keep up with the budget. But whether you do that or you're just doing it on your own, make sure that you know what you're spending in each category so you can actually be successful when it comes to the budget. All right, lesson number 2 is delayed gratification is key. Now, this applies to different things like sinking funds, where you save a little bit each month for something that you're wanting. Maybe this is, seeing a big purchase or something expensive that you want to buy, but you're pausing and waiting until maybe you have the money or maybe for your emotions to die down. Whatever it is, delaying gratification is really, really key. Because here's the deal. We see so much information, so much stuff, whether in our social media feeds or, even just around with our friends. And you may think, oh, I want that. But it's so easy for your emotion to get so heightened in that. And if you go and just pull the trigger on it, whether you had the money or not, you could be making a mistake when it comes to that purchase. So waiting and actually reevaluating maybe a week later to say, okay, do I really want that? Because I even will do this and I'll just add to cart sometimes. And I'll just add a bunch of stuff and then, a week later go back to the website and half the stuff that I put in the cart, I'm like, oh, I don't even like that anymore. But it was just this feeling of buying. And if I had purchased it, it would have been in my closet thinking the same thing. So let your emotions die down, delay that gratification, whether that's emotionally or actually saving up and paying for it in full. Lesson number 3 is what you see is never the whole picture. You guys, this is so huge. I mean, the famous comparison quote is that comparison is the thief of joy. And I believe that so much because when you see something out there and you're like, oh, look, here they are, so happy this summer, splashing around with their family at the pool, or here they all are at Christmas around the Christmas tree. That is so great. And you just see this happy, healthy person on Instagram or on Facebook with their family. And you can immediately just think, oh my gosh, I mean, they have the perfect life. Look at them. But the reality is, you guys, you have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. You really don't. And I think that's a really key thing to remember because everybody struggles, right? Everybody has moments of suffering and we don't put those out on social media. I mean, I guess some people might, but for the most part, if the kid is screaming, I don't have time to get my phone to show you my kid is screaming and throwing a fit. No, I'm in mom mode, right? So we don't see the 360 picture of everyone's life. We're seeing a snapshot that person is choosing to put out into the world. So just remember that. And maybe they are happy and healthy, and that's great too. So I have just learned that you have to celebrate people. If you see something and inside of you, it kind of flares up of oh my gosh, they have a more exciting life than me, or look at that thing that they have and I want it. I immediately go to good for them. Good for them. That is great. Whether it's a complete lie that they put out, but I'll never know the truth, right? You just celebrate people and move on because the truth is you have a choice in your own life. And are you actually going to celebrate it and enjoy the life that you have presently? Or are you going to sit and watch everyone else's life and make assumptions about it, right? So being present in your own life, living with gratitude is so, so key. And that will help you beat the comparisons because a heart filled with gratitude, there is no room for comparisons and discontentment, right? When you are grateful for your life, it is huge, you guys. So remember, what you see is not always the whole picture. Lesson number 4 is your investing strategy should be boring. Listen, if there's something flashy and new and exciting when it comes to finances and you should put your money in this, it's usually going to be a gamble, okay? Because the truth is, proven foundational habits when it comes to investing, they're not going to be flashy and exciting. They're not new. So when we talk about funding 15% of your income into retirement, things like a Roth IRA and a 401k. Some people are like, oh my gosh, those are so boring. And they are. They really are. It's not exciting. It's not like crypto or like, oh my gosh, you can buy these, Nike shoes and flip them for this profit. You should put all your investment into that, or this cool like investing things in this property over here in this new part of town that all these people are putting money in. Like, your 401k and Roth IRA are boring. They really are. But the truth is, they have a long track record. When you are investing and being smart about your investing, you're diversifying. And again, you're lowering your risk. You're not putting all your eggs in one basket, and you're putting your money in something. Again, the market is one. I would say real estate, paid for real estate is another. But it's these places in life that you put your money that have proven track records. And so they're not flashy, they're not sexy, they're not exciting, but they work. And when you're consistent in those, you're going to really get the payoff in the end. All right, lesson number 5 is I never regret spending my money on experiences. So Dr. Arthur Brooks, I will probably be quoting him a lot in the future because what he said when it comes to spending money that actually will bring happiness, one of those is buying experiences with people that you love. And I thought, amen, hallelujah. Rachel's like knee-jerk reaction was correct and backed up by science. Thank you. But enjoying experiences, you guys, again, with people that you love, it is so key. It does bring a level of joy and happiness. And so stuff is never bad. I'm never going to tell you like, oh, don't go buy that purse or don't buy that car. If you have the money and you want to buy, things, that's okay. But the lie is when we wrap our identity and our happiness into stuff, it is shown now, scientifically proven, that it does not bring long-term happiness. But the memories and the experience with people you love, it does. So that is where I will spend money. I will spend money on a great vacation with my family, a great meal out with friends. That's where I'm like, I want to put my money there more than ever in life, where I used to be a little consumer, y'all. I'm not going to lie, back in the day. And I just still do love shopping. But overall, I'm like, I would rather put my money in something that I know we're going to experience. When Winston and I built our house and we moved in 2018, is that when we moved in? No, 2019. We knew we wanted a pool eventually. Like that was one thing for our family that I was like, I want to be the house that all the teenagers come to, probably out of like fear and control. But I'm like, I want to be the fun house, and having a pool is one of those places that attracts kids and teenagers and all of it. And we've always said, we want to do this. We want to have this experience, but we couldn't afford to build one when we were building our house. So we waited. But it's been 5 years, and y'all, we have broken ground. We are on our way. So we did. We saved up for this dang pool, like freaking costs more than probably all my kids' colleges combined. They're so expensive. But at the end of the day, it's going to be worth it. I know it is, because we're going to use it, and it's going to be fun. It's going to create the environment and the feeling in our household with what we want, right? This level of experience. So I'm all about spending money on experiences because I really do think it brings a level of satisfaction and joy to your life. All right, lesson number 6 is to plan for the unexpected. You guys, stuff is going to happen in life. It is. Life happens. No matter how much money you have, no matter how big the emergency fund is, unexpected things happen. And I feel like that's one of the weird things about getting older is you just hear more and more stories of people and things and tragedies, honestly, that just happen in life that you just think, oh my gosh. So like the big things can happen and that can happen. So plan for those, right? The emergency fund is there. Things even like life insurance and having a will, like being a grown up in this, because unexpected things are going to happen. So taking care of your loved ones, I think, is really important, down to like the small things that suddenly our middle one wants to play basketball. We've never played basketball, but she wants to play basketball. So we're like, okay. And it's a, $125 fee to sign up. And you're like, okay, we didn't have that in the budget. So we have a miscellaneous category kind of for our catch-alls on things that just pop up throughout the month that we weren't expecting. And so again, it can be something from very small and insignificant to something like really tragic. But I've just learned things are going to happen in life. So where you can put buffer and expect those things to a degree is really wise. Because again, it's not that it doesn't allow these things to happen and pop up, because they will, but it just gives you some margin and some breathing room and some money to help be that buffer, which I think is really key. So here's the deal. Money tends to be one of these things in life that you really learn as you go. And trust me, if you implement any of these lessons today, I really think it's going to help you when it comes to your money habits and your money mindsets. And if you want a full rundown of my financial strategy, which includes 9 easy to understand money lessons that everyone should know, give FPU a try. Financial Peace University is our course around money that gives you everything from insurance to investing to budgeting to getting out of debt, gives you the information that you need when it comes to getting control of your money. And it hopefully will motivate you too to get on a plan and start actually making progress with your money. So be sure to share this episode with a friend who loves to try new money strategies. As always, you guys, remember to take control of your money and create a life you love. So my new favorite movie, like most of America or the world, is Wicked right now. Now, when I saw it for the first time, there was a line that stood out to me immediately, and I think it relates to money. So today, we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about how you can overcome 3 villains of personal finance. And before we start, make sure to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and share this with a friend. Okay, so like I mentioned, the line from Wicked, when Madame Marble says, "Not everyone has the same villain." It got me thinking. Here's the deal, y'all. You kind of rally together if you're kind of going after the same villain, right? There's a villain out there and we're all going after that villain. And we see this in politics, like we see this in different parts of our lives. But when we think about money, I never like to make the villain a person necessarily, right? Yes, are there scammers out there? Are there people that are villains in that world? Sure. But there are industries out there, like billion-dollar industries out there that are coming to take our money. Like their whole goal is to make money off of us. And so I was thinking, what if we all rallied around and we're like, we're going after a villain, that industry, that villain out there. If we can all rally around that, that is when we get on the same page and we actually start talking about, hey, how do we ask questions better when it comes to our money? Hey, should I be a little skeptical here or there? But when you start thinking about an industry-wide villain, I don't know, I thought it was kind of fun. So I want to talk about the 3 villains that I really do believe we should avoid when it comes to the world of financial industries. Number 1, the credit card industry. Yeah, I'm calling them a villain. I am. It's no secret that I'm against living with debt in general, but there are 2 ways specifically, 2 reasons why I think the credit card industry is a villain. Number 1, they will give a credit card to anyone. They really don't vet you. They don't really consider your ability to manage debt. They're not looking out for your long-term good. They are really there to have you maintain debt for your entire life and make payments and then possibly give cards to people that can't make a full payment every month. So now they're paying interest and they're stuck in this cycle of paycheck to paycheck living because they're living off their credit card. And what ends up happening is that those people end up very stressed, very overwhelmed, and trying really hard to get out of it. But it's very, very difficult because, again, the credit card companies find a way to feed a system to you over and over again that eventually causes suffering. I mean, it really does. And so I don't like the idea that they just give it to anyone because they're not looking out for our best interests. Then also, they trick you into thinking that you are winning, right? With all the rewards and the miles and the points and the perks and all of it, it feels like you are winning. When the truth is you spend 12 to 18% more when you're using a credit card versus cash. And all these rewards in the world don't take away the fact that you are losing money when you spend this way. And so there is something about continuing to live in credit card debt. And I would say this, even if you pay it off every month, what you're doing though is you are spending money in the present without emotionally realizing it. And then at the end of the month, having to pay for your past. And the way you live your life like that with money, instead of in the present, like with a debit card, right? That would be the solution. You're using a debit card. It does everything a credit card can do except get you into debt. But when you're using a debit card, you are in the moment. And so what that changes in your psychology and in the way you handle money is massive. But again, they make you feel like you are winning. So those are the ways that I'm like, yeah, I just really think that they are villains in our world today. And listen, a debit card is just as safe as a credit card. And there are companies out there that you can still get some perks while using a debit card. Target's debit card, shout out to them. Even Southwest Rewards, they have a great rewards program. If you fly them consistently, without a credit card, you still get points. You can still get free flights. So there are systems out there that are great when it comes to points. I'm not against that, but I am against this idea of not spending your own money because you end up spending more in order to get those points. The second villain out there, I'm going to say, is the student loan industry. I think that there are some sweet 18-year-olds out there that have signed a dotted line and taken out debt, not realizing emotionally what they are doing. And the student loan industry, they go and they manipulate, I really do believe that, into believing that your life is going to be so much better, and they hand over tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars to 18-year-olds to make decisions. And that amount of debt is going to follow them in the future. So these two main myths that people are taught is, number one, if you don't go to college, you will not win professionally. That's what is kind of told out there. I think that we're now at a point where we're thinking differently about college. And again, I'm not against higher education at all. I went to college. I'm saving up for my kids to go to college. I think there's a affordable way to do it, a smart way to do it by staying in state, going to community college, all of that. So I'm not against higher ed, but I am against this lie to believe that if you don't go to higher ed, then you're not going to be successful, because we are seeing more and more people out there, whether it's within the trades, whether it's within real estate, whether it's within entrepreneurship, people starting businesses like never before. Like, people are making an incredible living and doing incredible things without higher ed. And so it is possible to win without that. The second myth is that they say student loans are an investment in your future. And the best way to think beyond 22 is to start your future path in college, even if that means taking on a ton of debt. And again, you are 18 when you are doing most of this decision making. You are. And this idea that if you get this degree, again, this is an investment that's going to take you into the future, it's just not as true anymore as it used to be. Yes, it is great to have higher education. Don't hear me say that it's not. But this idea that it is like slotted, that it's all going to work out and it's all going to be okay, is just not the fact. And again, we are seeing this more and more. Students are graduating, they're getting into the job market and being like, oh my gosh, I'm getting paid what starting out? And this is the debt that I took on to get this degree, and it's not ROIing, right? There's no digging into these subjects for some of these students, and then they're stuck with tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars of student loan debt. So I don't like the student loan industry. And there was a whole thing about canceling student loan debt, right? If people were thinking it was that terrible, then why are we still supporting an industry that is continuing to put the future generations deeper into debt? So there is a solution. Again, being smart about college education, go to a community college, right? Go to an in-state school. There are still scholarships and grants out there. Take a gap year and work and save up some money and pay your way through. Like, there are ways to do this that don't entail going to an expensive out-of-state private college, right? And getting a degree in English, and that being your life, trying to pay off that debt going forward. So you can make different decisions. And our documentary, Borrowed Future, is incredible because we talk about practical alternatives, and this really lays out the problem that the student loan industry, we believe, is impacting our culture. So I'll put that link of that documentary in the description, so make sure to check that out. All right, before I share our third and final financial villain, I do want to tell you about one of our sponsors, Delete Me. So for 115 million of us, data breaches mean that our info is just out there for anyone to find. And this is like our names, addresses, phone numbers, banks, so much more. And that is why I love and use Delete Me, because they find and remove your information from hundreds of data broker websites that buy, sell, and trade your personal data. So take control of your online privacy with Delete Me. Individual Delete Me plans start as low as $9 a month. So sign up today at joindeleteme.com/Rachel for 20% off, or click the link in the description. All right, the third and final villain, I'm going to say, is the car industry. Now, the car industry villain is primarily emotional, because we do have to have cars and transportation, right, in our world today. So I'm not against cars. But there are two ways that they really do manipulate our emotions. Number one is out of fear and necessity. So they really do prey on this desire to be safe, wanting reliable transportation, all of that. And that is all good. Like, yes, we all want safe cars. But that doesn't mean that the only safe car is a brand new car. So there are reliable, safe cars that can exist, I'm going to say, in any budget. If you have $5,000, which is a lot of money, I understand that. But if you save up that you, from that point on, you can find some great cars. They're not going to last you forever. I'm not saying that to go buy a $5,000 car. It may last you 18 months, but you continue to save on the side, sell that, put that money together, step up in car, right? But this idea that you have to have a brand new car because that's the only safe car out there is just not true. Number 2 is ego. They really do prey on our egos when it comes to cars. There's this level of convincing us that we need a nice car for this level of status or belonging. And it's just like, oh yeah, I feel great because I'm driving a nice car and it says something about me. And that is where we've gotten to this point that it's like, oh, I can't drive like an old car or like a not great car because I won't look successful or whatever the lie is. Our ego plays into this so much. That's why the leasing industry is so fascinating with cars, because you kind of get this temporary fix of like, oh yeah, I have a great, beautiful luxury car, but you end up wasting so much money and it's so expensive. But leasing is that example of like, oh yeah, I can afford this payment, but like it's great and I look great, but you can't actually afford the car. So the ego has to be set aside. And the solution is to save up and pay for your cars in cash. And again, $5,000, that car can get you places. It really can. And then there's even families out there, which sounds extreme to some people, and they're like, oh my gosh, that's so inconvenient, which it is. But some people are a one-car family. There are a lot of people that are in this position where they're like, we hate paying $1,300 on a car payment. I got that DM on Instagram this weekend. $1,300 a month going to a car payment. And it's like, it's exhausting. It's absolutely exhausting. So some people even go down to a one-car family, which is wild. Now, if you need some ideas on where and how to start shopping for affordable cars to purchase with cash, make sure to check out my episode, 10 Great Cars Under $10,000. So make sure to check it out there. Or if you are listening on podcast, I will leave that link below. All right, you guys, let's go after those villains together. And remember to take control of your money and create a life you love. Everyone's financial situation is different, but whether you are a CEO of a company or an hourly employee, there's one cost that everyone has, and that is the cost of living. So today I'm going to share 8 ways to lower the essential costs in your life and in your budget so that you have more margin and more peace with your money. All right, before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to this channel and share this episode with a friend. Okay, so really your essential costs, I consider your 4 walls, which is food, shelter, utilities, transportation. So when you look at these utilities, it's going to be, things to keep your house running. Housing is going to be your rent or mortgage. Transportation is making sure that you have transportation for where you need to go, whether that's a car, making sure you have maintenance and gas and all the things, or maybe it's public transportation. And then we have food. And food, again, obviously it's a need, but I'm not talking about like extravagant going out to eat all the time, but just like your basic food, groceries, what you need to survive. Those are the things that everyone needs in the world today. So let's talk about cutting some costs. For utilities, let's start there. Number 1, cut or combine streaming services. So this is one part of your bill that you're going to see every single month. And for many of us, you kind of just keep adding on subscriptions. So take a moment and be like, hey, what do we actually watch? And if we only watch like one show on one thing, maybe we can eliminate it for a few months, and that's going to save us some money. So again, combining some of these services or cutting them is going to be your best bet. Number 2 is reduce utility usage. So when you think about your water, for instance, right, taking some shorter showers, when you're brushing your teeth, turn off the sink. Think about electricity. Like if you have lights on all the time, you're going to be paying for that. So maybe turning off some lights, adjusting the thermostat when you're not home. So there's some elements here that is going to get money back in your pocket when it comes to your utilities. And if you pay for any of your utilities online, an easy way to save yourself from losing money is to protect your online privacy from hackers. And this is one reason I love Delete Me. Delete Me is an incredible service that goes in and removes your data, because so much of your data you don't realize is out on the internet. And this is everything from your job history, your address, your phone number. There's so much that is out there. And so data brokers will gather this information and then sell your data to other companies so that they can spam you, sometimes scam you, and we don't want that. So protect your online data with Delete Me. You can get 20% off your Delete Me plan by going to joindeleteme.com/Rachel. All right, next up is transportation. So the very first way, the biggest way for you to save money when it comes to your car is getting rid of your car payment. So the average used car right now, their payments is around $500. A new car is up to $700 to $800. So it is insane how much money your car payments are taking from you. So what do? Well, sell your car. And if you only make like $2,000 to $3,000, go buy a car with cash, save up some money, and maybe buy a $5,000 car. If you're underwater on your car, which a lot of people are, then just say, okay, go take a small loan from the bank. And let's say you have a $25,000 car loan, but you can only sell your car for $20,000. Then go take a $10,000 loan from the bank or an $8,000 loan, pay off the car loan, get rid of the car, and then go and buy a really cheap car. Because I would rather you be $8,000 in debt than $25,000 in debt. So again, finding that way to get rid of that car payment is going to be huge. And listen, that crappy car that you buy, you're not going to drive it your whole life. Drive it, save up on the side, sell it, put your money together, and step up in car. But you're going to do it slowly over time. But putting $500 to $800 back on average into your budget is tremendous. Number 2, I would also say go crazy with the coupons. So when you think about your routine maintenance, from oil changes, tire rotations, all of that, there are so many coupons online. And you want to keep up with your car maintenance because you want your car to be running for a long period of time. So take care of it. This is one issue that it's tough for me. So I'm like, I don't keep up with all the details of my car. But when you're taking care of your car, it's going to avoid bigger issues later on. It's going to cost you a lot of money. All right, up next, let's look at housing. So one great way to save on housing is to check insurance coverage. So when you look at your coverage on your home, maybe you can bundle your home and auto, and you can save some money that way. Also, when it comes to your home, a great way to save some money is to make an extra mortgage payment. This is a great way to save a lot of money. Now, this is for the long haul. But when you look at this, it's crazy. When you just make one extra payment a year, you guys, the math is insane. So to see how much you could save with your mortgage over time when it comes to interest and all of it, make sure to go to our mortgage payoff calculator. I'll put the link down below, but go check it out. Put in your numbers and just kind of mess around with it and say, okay, what if I did 13 payments a year or 14 or 15? And you'll see how much interest you save over time. It's a beautiful thing. All right, last but not least, let's talk about food. So a great way to save money in this category is cut eating out. And this is hard. This is a very hard one because it's so convenient. It is so easy, but we spend so much money going out to eat, especially if you go down to a restaurant, you sit there and it's a sit down experience. You're tipping on top of that. The food, again, it's great that it's made for you. It's wonderful, but you pay for it. And so you do end up saving so much more money when you eat at home. And this doesn't have to be forever, but if you are at a point that you need more margin in your budget, cut going out to eat for a month and see how much money you save. It's an incredible amount. And number 2 is to buy generic. So when you're going to the grocery store, a great way to save some money is to buy generic things. Buy the store brand of what you can. And mostly, we say it all the time, but it's true, a lot of these things are made in the same area, like even in the same factory. And so get a cheaper label because you're going to save money that way. Now, all of this means nothing if you're not budgeting the money that you're saving. So make sure to check out my episode on 4 ways you're ruining your budget without realizing it. That's coming up next. You can click right here to watch that. Or if you are listening on podcast, click the link below. All right, you guys, remember to take control of your money and create a life you love. Hey, you guys. So today I want to challenge you on something because we're coming up to the end of the year and maybe you're not where you thought you would be when it comes to your goals or maybe even your expectations of what would happen this year. And if that's you, I'd be willing to bet that there is a little lie in there that you're starting to believe when it comes to the progress that you've made. So let's spend a little time talking about what that lie is and how you can overcome and move towards your goals in life and money. But first, do me a favor and make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons to keep this content coming back to you. All right, raise your hand if you've ever believed the lie, if I can't do this thing perfectly, then it's not worth doing at all. Anybody? Okay, I'm not a huge perfectionist. I'm more like, get it done. And if it's not done perfectly, but it's done, I'm good with it. But then I talked to some of my friends and they're like, oh my gosh, they have to do everything, so perfectly. And again, I think that there's a level of that yes, is good. Put in your best effort in life. I think that's really key. But also knowing like things are not going to go perfectly. So maybe you had a goal of paying off debts, but your payoff is a little off track. Or maybe you're wanting to budget, but you feel like, God, you just didn't get the hang of it and it just feels like it's messing up. Or whatever the goal is out there that you're like, man, I thought I was going to do this and it's just not panning out the way I thought it would. You are not alone. This has happened to me. It's happened to you. And we've all had setbacks like this. And it can feel like, your goal is just a lost cause because you didn't get it right. And I mean, I even see this kind of things in my kids, even this like perfectionism of like, I have to get this right. One of my sweet kids, like they lost their spelling list one week, and this particular child of mine, she is the perfectionist. And it's like everything has to be good and perfect, and she kind of worries about it. And I just see this like little stress in her already in life. And she lost her spelling words one week, and it was just tears and tears. And, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I was just grabbing her hands. And I looked at her and I said, get a 0. Miss every single word on that test. You are fine. Like, this is not a life or death situation. You're in like the 2nd grade and you've gotten hundreds on every spelling test up until this point. You're going to be okay, because what's going to happen? If you get a 0, you're going to come home. It's going to be Friday night. We're going to watch a movie and eat pizza like we always do. And like life goes on. You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. And of course, sweet girlfriend like goes and gets 100 on the spelling test. Now, my other children, we probably won't have that same conversation. It's going to be more like, why do you keep forgetting your spelling tests? Like, it'll be a different thing. So we love both sides of the coin, but if you are a perfectionist out there, I just want to encourage you to throw it out the window. Like, it is not worth it. Because what if I told you that failure was the actual first step of reaching your goal? Because if you're doing something new, you guys, it's going to feel weird. It's going to feel awkward. You're not going to do it perfectly, and that's okay. And it might seem weird to talk about failing as the first step of moving forward, but that is where this mindset change is going to be great for you. That if you know, I'm going to fail somewhere along the way, and it's okay. I'm not going to do it perfectly. But when you think about things differently of what other people claim is just normal, it might seem weird at first, and that is totally okay. Because I want you to be weird, especially if that means that you're doing things intentionally, including how you spend your healthcare dollars. And one way to be intentional is with Christian Healthcare Ministries. CHM isn't health insurance. They're a health cost-sharing ministry that's helped hundreds of thousands of families like yours take care of healthcare costs without sacrificing their freedom. Programs start as low as $98 a month. So find out more and join at chministries.org/budget. At chministries.org/budget. So if the only way you're going to reach your goals is by making progress perfectly, then you're probably never going to reach them, because the truth is nobody is perfect, shocker, and especially when you're trying something new. So if perfectionism or the fear of failure is holding you back, remember these couple of things. Number 1, start where you are. Like, regardless of what's going on in your life, just say, hey, I'm going to just make the first step. So maybe that's actually creating a budget. Maybe that's listing out your debts to see which one you want to pay off first. Like, it is just that first step, but start wherever you are. Start somewhere. Start now. All right, number 2, you might feel a little stupid. You might feel like, oh my gosh, I'm going to mess up this whole thing. And here's the deal. You might, because just trying something new, you're not going to be good at it the first time, and that's okay. So again, throw this idea that, gosh, everything has to just go right every single step of the way. It's not going to. You're going to have setbacks. You're going to have to change some strategies, and that's okay. Number 3, nobody cares or thinks about you as much as you do. So just get out there. Some people have this fear of like, gosh, what if people see me fail? Nobody's looking. Let's be honest. Like, unless I guess you're screaming it from the rooftops everywhere you go, which that would be odd if you did that anyways. They're like, nobody's looking for you to fail. I mean, if they are, they're a terrible person, and you shouldn't think about them anyways. But I think we put so much pressure on ourselves sometimes of like, oh gosh, what are other people going to think? And the truth is, they're thinking about that themselves. They're thinking, what are people going to think? Because they're thinking about themselves. They're not thinking about you. They're thinking about them. And that's the truth. So the goal in all of this, again, you guys, is to throw perfection out the window. And when you're not focused on being perfect, guess what? You survive your mistakes. And that Brene Brown quote I think is so powerful, is that shame focuses on self, guilt focuses on behavior. So guilt says, yeah, I did something bad. I did something wrong. I messed that thing up, but it's okay. where shame says, I'm bad, I'm messed up, I'm wrong. And you want to really pull those two things apart. Shame and guilt are two different things. So you try something new and you fail, it's not that you're a failure, it's that you have failed in this. And that's okay. You get to pick yourself back up and try again. And sometimes when you're struggling to keep a goal or you're struggling with perfectionism, you need somebody in your life to hold you accountable and say, you're going to be okay. That show the progress that you're making, show yourself grace. Like, you need some of that encouragement. So if you need somebody to walk with you through that, I think it is so powerful, especially when it comes to our financial goals. So I would encourage you to check out Financial Peace University. There may be a class in your area. Maybe you can do it online, but having a community around you is really key. So I will put a link below to make sure to check that out in the show notes. And if one of the goals you're trying to reach has to do with investing, number one, I want to encourage you, investing is a great way to build wealth. But number two, it can be super confusing, which is why I want you to avoid some of the common investing mistakes. So keep watching to find out 7 investing mistakes to watch out for. And we'll leave a link to that video in the description. And if you're listening on podcasts, I'll leave a link to the next episode. All right, you guys, remember to take control of your money and create a life you love. Well, hey, you guys, I'm calling all doomsday preppers. Listen, you are seen, you are heard, but also let's give a little reality check to life, because this one goes out to all my friends with a little hoarding tendencies. One of the keys to winning with money is realizing that you don't have to be in control of your stuff. Your stuff never needs to own you, okay? So it's okay to have some stuff, just don't let it have you. But I say this to all the natural spenders when it comes to shopping, because listen, it's all about balance. So my team and I did a little digging on the internet, and today I'm going to be reacting to 9 sneaky signs that you own too much stuff. And stick around to the end, because I'll be sharing a throwback photo of my husband Winston and I that reveals the thing that I may or may not be unnecessarily hoarding for a later date. All right, the first sign that you might have too much stuff is that you need more than 30 minutes to tidy up before anyone comes over. So if your house is full and cramped, it feels impossible to keep it clean and tidy, that means you may need to create some space. Now, if you have little kids, this can be difficult. Maybe if you're an adult, this can be difficult too. But it's just this idea, if there's just so much crap around, probably half the stuff you don't even need. All right, the second sign that you have too much stuff is that you're constantly wishing you had more money or a bigger house. Do you ever think back on your very first paycheck? Listen, life moves on, and you probably wouldn't wish to go back to that salary now, but there is a small part of you that remembers feeling a little, more content, less stressed. There's something about that. So don't let lifestyle creep make you feel like you'll never have enough. Because of course, there's always going to be room for small improvements in your money and your life, but contentment is key for financial stability and financial peace, and that goes for your house too. Now, the third sign that you might have too much clutter in your home is if you have unopened or forgotten about items. Have you ever cleaned out your garage or your pantry or a random storage closet upstairs and you found a lot of unopened things just sitting there? Maybe it was that crock pot that you got from a white elephant party, or a brand new candle that, you got last summer. Like, whatever it is, these items that are forgotten about, they need to be cleared out. Sneaky sign number 4 is that you have to move a bunch of stuff in order to get other things. So raise your hand if you've ever had to move multiple boxes just to get back to your treadmill, or get back to that thing in the attic of what you were looking for, or to even in your kitchen table, right? To do dinner, like whatever it is. Listen, you have too much stuff. If you can't even sit on your couch, right? Let's just get rid of some stuff. Your home should feel like a restful, clear, and safe place, not an obstacle course. The 5th sign that you own too much stuff is if you feel like you have no clue where your money goes every single month. That one feeling that I'm sure a lot of us have experienced, that it's getting to the 3rd week, you're checking your bank account, realizing, oh my gosh, there's not a lot of money left. So if I've said it once, I've said it a million times. A budget takes away the stress when it comes to your spending. A budget allows you to tell your money where to go. So if you haven't done a budget before, go to everydollar.com/Rachel to create a custom budget in just a few minutes. It is my favorite budgeting tool out there, so make sure to check it out. The 6th way that you can tell you have too much stuff is that you have a difficult time moving around your house. or when it comes to your attic or your garage. So think about one space in your house that you tried to avoid because you're afraid that something will fall out and you'll be buried in it. I always think about Monica's secret closet on Friends. That one door in the very back, she opened it. It was like the one place she was not organized. It was fantastic. So listen, if that experience, if that's how you feel, then go through it, clean it out, donate stuff, sell stuff, throw away stuff. Just have that space, have a little bit of fresh air. And I'm telling you, it will be so worth it. It is. It gives you peace of mind. Sign number 7 is if you're always shoving things into drawers and closets. Have you ever been at that place where you bring home a new clothing item, but you don't have any hangers for it? That's happened to me for sure. And again, there's stuff just coming out of drawers and all of it. Oh, do a purge. It is like, this is my favorite. My worst is my bathroom. All the drawers in my bathroom somehow stuff just seems to pile. And then every now and then I'll take everything out and be like, okay, what do I need? What do I not need? And again, it's good intention stuff. Oh, I'll keep that because I'm sure one day I'll X, Y, and Z. Just get rid of it. Get rid of it. The 8th sign that you have too much stuff is if you're always losing things or struggling to keep track of certain items. A place for everything and everything in its place. A good old saying, but it's actually true. To actually have something and you say, okay, this is where I'm going to put this or where I'm going to put that. It helps you stay organized. It helps you feel clean and that you know where things are. And finally, the 9th sign that you might have too much stuff is if you've ever thought or said to yourself, well, I may need this one day, so I'll keep it just in case. And this is me, you guys. I mean, unbelievable. I will go through stuff and I'm like, well, I might use it for this or this or this. Again, usually like beauty stuff, it always happens. I'll get something like really great and I'm like, oh, I'm sure I'll use that cream for my hands one day. And I just put it away and never happens. I actually made a Mary Poppins costume from scratch, which if you know me, I'm not a creative person, but I did it not from scratch. That sounded real intense. But I bought the skirt and the shirts from Amazon. And then I bought like a little bow tie thing. I bought a black hat. I bought all the stuff for it. I hot glued things. Like, I mean, who am I? And it actually turned out real good. I was very proud of myself. And I got Winston's costume too, put it together. And it just felt like this goal. Like I'm not this person. I usually just buy the whole thing and call it a day. But I pieced it together and I felt so creative and so great. And I still have that in my closet, that Mary Poppins outfit, just because one day Mary could come back and I may need that costume. So I do. I have that in my closet still. Okay, let's be real though. You can clean out your closets and your drawers all day long, but if the habits that got you there are not broken, you will continue to do it over and over again. And for me, the biggest mindset shift that helped me is when I started practicing contentment. And when I really said, hey, with what I have, I'm good with. Who I am is not going to change because of that purchase or this over here. This peace that I have in my heart, there's this level of foundation there, you guys, that is so huge because money can be really emotional. And understanding and learning the hard way that money and buying stuff is not always going to make you happy, even though we can believe that. And a common thread of this episode has been margin, finding margin financially, also finding margin when it comes to spaces in your home. But if you do need that financial margin, make sure to start doing a budget. We mentioned it earlier, but tracking your expenses and having control over your spending is so key. And Every Dollar helps you do that. So again, go to everydollar.com/Rachel and get started today. And if you haven't seen my episode with Minimal Mom on what we're refusing to spend money on this year, you should definitely check that out. And as always, you guys, remember to take control of your money and create a life you love. So the truth is, becoming a millionaire isn't always flashy. It's not like this overnight success that you see in the 90s movies. So we're going to talk about 7 subtle, slightly boring signs that you're actually already on your way to building wealth. So stick around and find out where you fall, and make sure to like, subscribe, and share this episode with a friend. Okay, we loved Blank Check, the movie, the Disney movie. You know, Richie Rich, all these movies in the 90s as kids, and you're like, oh my gosh, look how this money. And you just write a check for $1 million and get a castle and a limo and all this, But now as adults, we all know that yes, building wealth takes time. And there's still a little kid in all of us that wants to believe, yeah, I think I can get rich quick and I'm going to win the lottery. I'm going to find a blank check and everything's going to be fine. But it's not always true. So we subtly start to build wealth And that is the reality. And that's okay. It's going to be slowly but surely, but it is great. So the first subtle sign that you are getting ahead financially is consistently investing in retirement. I know, so boring, you guys. But this is foolproof. I'm telling you, this is where people get greedy. My dad always talks about the tortoise and the hare. He loves that book for so many elements and metaphors in life. But this is true. Be the tortoise. Be boring. And when you go and you talk to people that are actually net worth millionaires, and you talk to them on the street, there's so many Instagram accounts now that they're interviewing people on the street. And it's just an average looking couple, and they're yep, we funded our 401k and Roth IRAs and paid off our house and just this. And it's just boring. But yet they have a $4 million net worth, and it's fantastic. And one was a teacher, one was an engineer or whatever. So I'm telling you, it may feel boring and not exciting, but over time, it works. So fund 15% of your income into retirement after you're debt free and after you have a fully funded emergency fund, and do it consistently, month after month, year after year. Be funding your retirement. Number 2, I mentioned it earlier, but paying your house off early. And so this is definitely something that adds to your net worth, but it also adds to your peace of mind, because that housing line item in your budget is always the most expensive. And so if you are a renter for your entire life, that is just going to continue to increase and take part of your budget. It is. Now, if you have a mortgage, obviously, for most people, if it's a 15-year fixed rate mortgage, which is what I recommend, then you're going to know your payment until the house is paid off. But I don't want you waiting 15 years for it. So we are finding that people that are doing the baby steps, they're doing the Ramsey plan, they're paying their houses off in around 8 to 9 years, which is amazing. So even just adding an extra payment every year on your mortgage, it shaves the time off and the interest in all of it. So if you could imagine doing that multiple times a year, an extra mortgage payment, and again, once you're out of debt and you have an emergency fund in place. But paying your house off early is such a small, subtle way, though, to show that you are on your way to building wealth. All right, number 3 is actively working to get out of debt. So a lot of people just maintain their debt their entire lives. And it's just part of it. They're just trapped in monthly payments. Their income comes in. Most of it goes back out, thousands of dollars for some people. And they never see that money again. They worked hard for that money, but it's gone. Versus actually saying, you know what, I'm going to get out of debt. And then I actually am going to get to use my income to invest and pay my house off early, everything we just talked about. So you're actually using your income for you and not for, banks and debt companies out there. So living debt-free really does put your net worth in the positive, and it's a great way to build wealth. So if you're doing that, you're doing a great job. All right, number 4 is you're not trying to cut corners. So don't be afraid of hard work. Don't be afraid to grind it out sometimes. And again, slow and steady wins the race. And so we want to believe in short-term wins. It feels much better to feel like, oh my gosh, I only have to do this for a little bit and then I'm going to be fine. But the truth is, the way life works is it is slow. It's a slow progression over time. And so you're going to have seasons specifically with working that maybe you're working a ton and you're maybe trying to get the promotion or whatever the thing you're doing, but you don't want to work your whole life and just be a workaholic by any means. So some seasons, you may pull back some, but whatever that looks like for you, part of it is the work. And so I pray that you love your job and you enjoy what you do, because I think that's a big part of all of this too. But yep, just remember, slow and steady still wins the race. All right, one thing, though, I refuse to cut corners on is internet safety for me and my family, which is why I love and use Delete Me. Those holiday promos can be great, but with every newsletter sign up and coupon code, you are giving away your data. And that personal info can easily end up with data brokers who sell it to spammers and scammers. And that is why I recommend and use Delete Me. The Delete Me privacy team digs through hundreds of those data broker sites to remove your data and keep it gone, which means fewer spammy texts and robocalls. So right now you can get 20% off at joindeleteme.com/Rachel with code Rachel at checkout. So go do it today. Again, that's joindeleteme.com/Rachel, code Rachel. Now, another sponsor I want to tell you about, and something that my family is loving, is Minnow. So teaching your kids that Christmas means more than just gifts can be complicated. And that is why I'm excited to tell you about Minnow's Laugh and Grow Bible for Kids Christmas special, bringing the true meaning of Christmas to life for your kids. And Minnow has tons of Christian shows that your kids will love, plus a lot more fun Christmas content. And my favorite part, as a parent, you do not have to worry about what they're watching. Minnow is ad-free and full of biblical truth. So start your free 7-day trial today at gominnow.com and use promo code Rachel for an additional $10 off an annual plan. That's gominnow.com, code Rachel. All right, number 5 is use a written shopping list. So if you are the type of shopper that has a list, whether you're going to the grocery or to Target, that tells me that you have intentionality and discipline, and you're not making purchases based on emotion or going in without a plan. And usually if that's a part of your rhythm of life, is something as small as grocery shopping, that means you have that in you probably for the rest of your money, meaning you have a plan, you know what's going on. Because the biggest mistake people make with their money is they're not intentional. They don't know where it's going. They don't know what it's doing. And they look up at 45 and like, gosh, I probably should start investing in retirement and that kind of thing. So if you are someone that is disciplined and intentional, that is a great sign to me that you're going to build wealth. All right, number 6, you look and act average. So this is interesting because, man, people that really do build wealth. So again, I'm not talking about like billionaires out there on yachts and private planes and all of it. I'm talking about people that are, hey, we worked hard and we are going to retire with dignity, 4, 5, 6 million in the bank. It's pretty great. Yeah. And those people, you guys, are everyday people looking and acting just like you and me. And I think people assume like the flashy cars and the big lifestyle, but the life choices that they make are wise, and they're thinking through like, okay, what are my purchases? Everything from clothes to cars and vacations. They look and act normal, but they're not, because they got millions of dollars. Now, on a big scale, you could think like Bill Gates and his New Balances, or when Steve Jobs was alive, like he had just a very like minimalist wardrobe, all of that. So I'm talking about like that kind of feel, but for everyday people, with the everyday people who aren't broke, but they've actually built wealth and kept it because they don't care what you think. And that attitude is fantastic. All right, number 7 is not afraid of the word no. So this goes for your kids, your social life, the latest trend on the internet, whatever it is. When you can say no, there is something, again, about delaying gratification, and it's actually a part of you that wants to do something, but for some reason it's not wise. It's probably not the best decision. So you're going to put a boundary up. And for that, man, that takes foresight, that takes wisdom, because you're thinking long term. And because of all of that, again, it kind of goes back to that discipline mindset. But when you can say no to something, it gives you power to be able to say yes for the things that you want. It's fantastic. Now, if saying no is tough for you, I get that. And so that is why EveryDollar, the budgeting app, is fantastic, because you can say yes to the right things. A lot of people don't want to budget month to month, and they're like, no, well, it's going to create boundaries and not be fun. But I'm telling you, when you actually have control of it, your yeses get to be that much more exciting. And that doesn't happen if you're not budgeting. So I'll put a link down below for you to check out EveryDollar, because it's not just an app about budgeting, but your entire financial picture. Now, for more subtle millionaire hacks, make sure to check out my episode 5 Simple Habits Quiet Millionaires Swear By. You can click right here, or I'll put a link down below. All right, you guys, remember to take control of your money and create a life you love.